The Strait of Hormuz, open in name, closed in practice. In a dramatic shift amid escalating Middle East tensions, Iran has officially declared the Strait of Hormuz open for commercial shipping. Iran's foreign minister announced that, in line with the ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open for the remaining period of ceasefire. Al Jazeera. The move has raised cautious hopes for stability in one of the world's most critical oil transit routes, but the reality on the ground tells a more complicated story. The crisis has deep roots. Shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has been largely blocked since February 28, 2026, when the United States and Israel launched an air war against Iran. In retaliation, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, issued warnings forbidding passage, launched confirmed attacks on merchant ships, and reportedly laid sea mines in the waterway. Major shipping companies, including Maersk, CMA CGM, and Hapag-Lloyd, suspended transits through the Strait almost immediately. On April 8, the United States and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire mediated by Pakistan, which was supposed to include the reopening of the strait. However, the situation remains far from resolved. Despite Iran's declaration, the United States continues to enforce a naval blockade. According to U.S. Central Command, the blockade will be enforced on ships entering or leaving Iranian ports, but will not impede freedom of navigation for vessels transiting the strait to and from non-Iranian ports. Wikipedia chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, confirmed that more than 10,000 sailors, Marines, and airmen, along with over a dozen ships and dozens of aircraft, are carrying out the ongoing military blockade. Fox News: Iran has also imposed its own conditions. Ships must coordinate with Iranian authorities, and the IRGC Navy warned that any military vessel approaching the strait would be considered a ceasefire violation and would face a severe response. Iran also began charging tolls exceeding $1 million per vessel, a demand President Trump publicly called extortion. The numbers reveal just how dire the situation is. Only 9 vessels have crossed the strait daily on average since the ceasefire, compared with pre-war traffic of more than 130 ships per day. Around 230 loaded oil tankers remain waiting inside the Gulf, and oil shipments have been restricted by more than 90%, cutting approximately 10 million barrels per day. The global consequences are mounting. The director of the International Energy Agency warned that Europe has roughly 6 weeks of jet fuel remaining, and that if the strait is not reopened in time, some flights could be canceled due to a lack of supply. Shipping experts remain deeply skeptical. De facto, the ceasefire has done absolutely nothing to change the situation. None whatsoever, said Lars Jensen of Vespucci Maritime. Analysts warn that for traffic to return to normal, shipping companies need confidence that the ceasefire will hold, and that Iran will not resume attacks on vessels mid-transit. In essence, the Strait of Hormuz remains caught between diplomacy and military pressure, open in theory but paralyzed in practice. With the ceasefire framework calling for a 15 to 20-day negotiation window, and both sides accusing each other of violations, uncertainty continues to dominate this vital global choke point. Until a durable agreement is reached, the world's energy supply hangs in the balance.